I hit the live button. What's up, everybody? My name is George, Warp Charge Gaming. We're live, and I was about to say Battlegrounds. There's James and Kevin, and we got Chris rocking a damn. Chris, you had a nice pose of like fucking Eye of the Tiger. But it's gonna be a good time tonight as we have episode 115 here, and we talk about tabletop wargaming. Particularly Warhammer 40K is often the subject matter here. And
that's correct for sure.
Yeah, Warhammer 40K. Ninth edition is now a thing. We're going to talk about that. I played a lot of games recently, so much so that it's hard to... They're all mixed together at this point. And,
no way. I don't even believe you.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not like there's evidence online or anything about any of this playing.
Yeah, I would think that people that watch this show would know that we actually film games. We don't just talk about them. I hope so. I played one today.
Dude, can you imagine the people that watch us that only watch this? I love those people.
Yeah.
Please tell me who you are. I want to forever know you as my best friend.
You know, back in the day when I watched Mini Wargaming, there was a point where I stopped watching their videos, their bat reps, and I just watched their like behind the scenes footages because I was so intrigued by it all, you know.
Damn right.
I mean, especially even nowadays, I still have a damn membership, and it's just partly because because I want people to patron our stuff. I would feel bad, like a hypocrite, to not patron someone else that I want to support.
Go out there and patronize people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, please continue the patronism.
Today was super cool because Ice Wolf, an old buddy from the old Dutch land area there, tuned in. And he helped us make our awesome green screen dice tray, and it was fun to show that on the channel. Like, some people were asking, like, Ice Wolf was like, "Yeah, a long time ago I helped make their dice tray," and other people in the chat were like, "Oh, really? That's cool. I wish we could see more of it." And I just like showed it to them live. I like took the camera and flipped it to the green screen dice tray that James printed, and they were like, "That's so cool." And it was just I remember when Ice Wolf like made the tray while we were live. He's such a good designer that like he just like threw it out in CAD and shared me the files while we were in a live show, and like I pulled it up on screen and shit live. It was so cool, and we printed that stuff. Still use it today.
He killed it, man.
Yeah,
that was a good design.
It's an awesome thing. I do love the jersey.
It's the most sacred item of Warp Charge Gaming.
It is, actually, yeah. Well, that's what it reminded me is that one of the cool things about, we're talking about patrons, is one of the cool rewards. We only have a few, but if you are a Patreon member, you have access to our green screen dice tray file that Ice Wolf designed for us. So, pretty cool. And among other things, guys, among other things.
Me love you long time.
Yeah, Chris and his rewards. Yeah, but we played some games today.
I'm surprised how many hot dogs you can fit in his mouth.
Oh my god. Yeah.
17.
Wow.
I digress.
You all worked in prison.
What up, Roll? What up, Tyler and Robles?
Nice.
Robles.
I'm trying to hit
Robles.
Oh, cool. I'm trying to hit the comment section too so I can like see what people are saying and stuff, man. I'm like totally I'm at home, if you guys can't tell. I'm not at Battlegrounds. It's I'm there like every day playing these pods. So it's been hard to like want to stay there all day long and get to the evening part when I could just come home, but a lot of games have been happening. So it's a trade-off. We get a lot of bat reps and then you get a talk show at home. But dude, lots of games. I am excited about all the things we just launched. Part of what we talk about is not just the games we play, but the events that we organize that motivate people to play games. And we just launched yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, the Age of Sigmar Tournament League to mirror the 40K Tournament League. It's been such a success with 15 pods kicking off in a month and a half.
So there's like 4 players in that?
Yeah, that good joke. Good joke. That was why I held back to do it. Is I didn't think it would have as many participants, and the whole idea of the system is to get 8 unique winners to get to a finals. But hey, the Age of Sigmar players that were bugging me about it, they're like, hey, I swear, people want to play, we want to do it, and we had like they said they thought they would sell it out in 24 hours. They did. First pod is kicked off, and we are into pod 2. Yeah. So here we go. Can they do it? It was funny though because the pairings were everybody knows each other and everybody's played each other before. But we're getting started, okay? Me and Mike Vendusky and Hagen out there, we've all particularly ran nearly every single one of the 40K pods. Mike has only missed one, and I just missed my first one. So I thought
Rip.
Yeah, sorry. There's people in our hood. What's been really cool about this tournament league, this social distancing organized play situation, is that I didn't play any games I was only playing Tabletop Simulator. It did have that quarantine time period. And I'm seeing all these new players out of the woodworks where they moved to the area. There's a guy from Sacramento, Tom. He's super awesome to play with. I just we just streamed a guy, his name's slipping right, Alex Stratos. He just moved here from Texas, and I just played him the other day as a league match. So Tom from Sacramento, Texas, and then we have our boy Zeke from Nashville, Tennessee area, from Chris's neck of the woods.
Yeah. He was living in the Knoxville area for a little bit, and
yeah, I haven't got to play him yet.
I don't know.
What were you saying, James?
Illinois is not representing.
Yeah, we don't got any we got Texas as the Midwestern, but yeah, we don't got no Illinois, yeah.
Yeah, it's southern in
the apparently one thing what I just made me think about as far as like people from all over, the pod system, we mirrored it. The idea spawned from the Tactical Tortoise event that's the channel, and he'd been throwing his own global tournament series on Tabletop Simulator. And Tabletop Simulator with COVID has blown up into this crazy animal in the tabletop scene. And it was interesting to learn today. The person I played got third in this major event, this global event, and went to a semifinals and a finals. Daniel Kennedy, and he played AdMech today against me, but he had played demons, and he played Chaos, Thousand Sons particularly, in the tournament, where I'd never known him to play Chaos. He's always been like Grey Knights, AdMech, some sort of shooting heavy. But it turned out that, funny enough, that they decided with the Tactical Tortoise Tournament League the TO decided to allow multiple smites. The thing that Chris
how'd that work out?
The thing that Chris was joking about, that I was like, no way, never. That is dumb. Dumb.
They fixed that immediately.
And well, they didn't fix it long enough for like people to just abuse the shit out of Magnus and Lords of Changes, just wrecking people with +2 to cast. They pretty much. The dude ran 49 Nurgling bases in Tabletop Simulator with like Magnus Morty kind of situation, like a Morty Magnus and a fucking Lord of Change kind of thing. It was so cheesy sounding, and he was like thinking about it real life. Like it's just like buying 49 bases of Nurgling. It was just like the Brimstone Horror burst.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Don't make me remember.
30 points for a 4-up invuln, and then I think the Changeling gave a -1 to hit instead of the Feel No Pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was out of control.
The only way to counter that list was it Razorwing Flock, because there were just so many.
The stupid Razorwing Flock, and that came out of and that was the most dumb unit. Well, it's a cool unit, but it's like it was so dumb when it was blown up into the multiples. People were buying all these like third parties.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Where can I bird?
Yeah. So that's funny, and now we have our 6-up Brimstones today. But yeah, that was funny to find that out. It didn't sound like it went great. It sounded like cheesy shit happened. Whoa,
did you hear anything from that about Tyranids being run? Because I was very curious from like a data standpoint, like Zone Thrift getting +3 mortals to their smites.
Oh, that was the first. I thought of you immediately. I would figure that they would go and wreck house. He was telling me he went against the Triple Lord of Skulls list and did drop one down to like seven wounds left in like the psychic phase. Just like
gross.
Yeah, just dropping shit. But I would imagine, Chris, that the Zone Thrips would go rampant. I would think. I don't know if many people did it, but It's silly. It's silly.
But it's not a thing. So
yeah, it is not a thing. So that was a little bit of drama. But speaking of events, Chris, you had mentioned that there was you've been sharing some of the details of the event that just went on for this Flying Monkey event at a con.
Flying Monkey Con GT. Actually, it is. We mentioned Texas, and they took, I think, Team Texas took, I think, 4 out of the top 10 spots. There was a lot of really interesting firsts, I think, for the event. One of which I think is something that I want to share, obviously, with James and Kevin. But the TOs actually tried to break up Team Texas because of the 70 attendees. The TOs were like, 15 of you guys are rolling deep. Like, it's altering pairings because we don't you don't obviously play the first seed against your own team.
Right.
And I guess the TOs felt uncomfortable because they were like, yo, like you're literally sabotaging our pairings by coming in and being like a quarter of the event.
So
it's so weird. Like I would not. That's not my intuition. Like I remember our major, we had Wet Wild and Warpy and the Gentleman's Gaming, and there were several group Coastal.
Beast Coast, right?
Beast Coast. I mean, we Coastal Wargaming, Warp Charge Gaming. It's fun to roll deep, and like even at Nova Open, they have the Tabletop Olympics. Where you get rewarded for being deep into game systems. So. It must have been, maybe a fresh 9th edition, maybe some newer turn. So where was this tournament out? 70 players, and it was 15 out of 70 players, I think.
It was Wichita, Kansas.
Kansas?
Yeah, Wichita, Kansas.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I looked it up before you hit live, so I was like, oh, where's it at? Oh.
I saw stuff like 65% of it was Imperium players. Out of the top 8 or top 10, 8 of them were Imperium, and out of the top 18, it was like 14 of them were Imperium. I don't know. It was deep in the Imperium.
What they need to do is, because Space Marines, their chapter, chapter whatever applies to everything, like vehicles, basically vehicles and all that, where the chaos only applies to characters, infantry, and Hellbrutes. I'm like, that's bullshit. Just give it to everybody.
Totally.
I understand no cultists, but whatever.
You say versus take it away, versus take the chaos treatment and give it to the Imperium. You'd rather just get the Imperium treatment for chaos.
Yeah.
The unlock button.
Hey, I'm not. I always think that everybody gets crazy. That's a fine. I like the GW balance of just make everything nuts. And make it. I like it more of that orky crapshoot type of game for both players. That whole that Sigmar style. I mean, maybe it's aggressive where you can double turn somebody like you can in Sigmar. But
I ain't a fan of that.
I hear you, but it's like their balance is just not great, and so they might as well just embrace it and make everything fucking apeshit crazy. It's the players that want it to be a balanced game, and I just don't think GW can handle it.
I definitely like the idea of most factions being nuts in their own regard, so long as they're preserving flavor. The only thing that I would say as kind of like a dissenter is that I feel like a lot of the times Games Workshop gets lazy with unlocking people's special rules, and they're like, oh, well, like, this faction also has that. And I'm like, well, that's dumb. Like, that takes away kind of the unique element of it,
Yeah, that's most Imperial armies to begin with anyway.
Yeah, that's also fair. And I mean, since they all are the same skeleton, then yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you have special rules. Well, those are my rules now.
The only time I was like okay with it was the Imperial Fist and Iron Warriors. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. They're basically dickheads that don't like each other.
Yeah,
even though they're the same
coin.
I didn't really care too much on that one. But then you're thinking of okay, Alpha Legion, Raven Guard, they get basically the same thing, but the new Raven Guard got a little bit better because they get cover and -1, where Alpha Legion is only -1. And then they lost it for Cultists, but I can understand because they're not like full blown Space Marines or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. The Mere Mortals rule I was fine with. It still sucked that you couldn't do the moving. What is it? Move 9 inches forward or deploy away 9 inches. That was the tactic you used.
Yeah. The whole I only get an extra 9 inches in my deployment versus I can be 9 from you. That's crazy. I want that back.
Yeah.
Give me back.
I think you should get that back, but it should be 12 inches.
Fuck off. I want it back.
Hey, I think it should at least be 12, but you can
That's
still
fine.
move. So you're still 6 inches away.
No, I'm still less than an inch because I just brought in raptors.
Well, yeah, 12 inches. So there you
Yeah,
go.
they move 12.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
just be 12 inches instead of 9.
Yeah, and then charge over.
Tyler.
Yeah.
And fuck days. Dude, I want really awesome turn 1 charges. I just want it bad. That's why Hell
Dude,
Drakes are back.
play Crusade.
Now.
I,
Hell Drakes are back.
Yeah.
one, I just saw a very funny or cool conversion of a Helldrake Demon Prince online, but 2, that's where I do enjoy Crusade because of the smaller board and just like taking out the like, it's all about the win condition and the brutality of the small board, the 500 point, 1,000 point small board size. Even if you did play like straight like ITC, try to play it as competitive as you could, but just dropped it down to 1,000 points and went to that board size, the game is more intense. Units, the corn units and shit, they can foot slog their way. A 3D like you could put a unit of bloodletters just on the line, get first, move your 6 and do a 3d6 charge and make turn 1 charges in that game to the deployment zone. You know, and it's just a different game. I've been blown away at how much fun I've had at that point level because units that usually are just painfully not as good become impressively more powerful. Like, for instance, we're talking about with Dan, he's about to put his Crusade list is going to be all built around the Gargantuan Squiggoth. And I cannot wait. Where that unit is, it looks like just another, it's a badass thing on the field, but like that'll turn 1 go away. But like literally at the 50 power level, even it fits exactly at the 500 point limit as well. But it is a nasty beast of a thing to have on the table on such a small board where literally in a single movement phase he's charging anything. So I don't know.
That's pretty fucking cool.
It is really, really fun, man. For fun, honestly, for you guys tonight, Kevin and James, I would highly recommend you just play yourself a 500. I mean, if you can play 1,000 on 1,000, but do a little 500 point game or even 25 power level on the board size. Feeling the board size is what's like, holy shit, dude, I'm there. You start to think about
Pistols are good.
Yeah.
I got a question. Are you allowed in Crusade? Are you allowed to summon stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, you sure are.
Woo, I'm gonna kick ass in my combat patrol games.
But we just started Crusade at Battlegrounds, which is awesome that it's getting ready to start on the 29th Nova Open Weekend. Rest in peace. But it is getting ready to. Yeah, I'm super sad. But we're gonna kick this off, and we got 23 people signed up right now, and it's continuing to grow. It's gonna be dope, and But in our situation, I've made it to be match play with Crusade rules and power levels.
Rip.
So no multiple stratagems in the same phase, no multiple psychic powers, etc. Right? You got to be battle forged. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he said battle. What I'm doing at a place in Gurney Mills Mall, close to me. It's basically only power level with battle forged, but everything else is anyone's game. I'll definitely take it up with him because summoning demons, I don't think he wants a.
Well, here's what we did. Here's what I think's fair is I don't think it's fair to have the summoning be penalized as far as what's inside your roster because you get a 50 power level roster and you're supposed to hit the table and pick what you want out of that because with your requisition points you can crank up your roster size. Somebody could choose to get warlord traits and relics. You could choose to make your roster size bigger instead and have more stuff to choose from. But with summoning, you shouldn't have everything that's possible to summon have to be inside your roster. So, but because what they do say in the rules is that summoning units don't get any benefits. They don't get like XP. They don't gain anything.
Yeah, because they just come and go away.
Yeah, they just poof away at the end. So you don't get any benefit besides that they helped you out in the battlefield. So what I'm doing is that when your list that hits the table, it has to have the available power level and reinforcement points, but you don't have to have your roster be taken up with what you're going to summon. So you can summon anything you want, but you got to have the available power level in your roster whenever you go to summon.
So like that 50 power level, let's say it's like week 10, you spend all your requisition points to jump up 5 power level. So you're at 50, but everyone else is playing at 100. So you could have up to 50 power level to summon then.
Yeah, no, that'd be like if you want to play a 100 power level game, sure. I'm saying that when you play a 50 power level game, that you like, let's say you only bring 40 to the table. You see what I mean? Like just like in regular.
That's what I'm saying. If you're playing that game, just you don't have to have it on the roster, but like you're basically gimping yourself at the starting line, but then you can just explode there.
Yeah, you only can summon where you have available free reinforcement points from what you hit the table with. So if it's a 25 power level game and I bring 20 to the table, I can only summon 5 power level worth of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, which is pretty.
Because I was thinking as the game goes on, because I'm playing Creations of Bile. I don't think it's actually that thematic anyway, because I'm going to do something like that. I'm always going to have Fabius in there, and I got some dope ass possessed that were all intercessors being changed because of the current fluff. Then the greater possessed are Custodes, and then I did Obliterators. You remember the old there were Skaven models, the Storm Fiends? You remember those?
Oh, they're awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I basically just put Bulgrin heads and Imperial weapons on them, but I'm using those as a blitz. And it's cool that they have the little like baby rat on their back.
Yeah, totally. I see Tyler's asking some stuff. He said, "I see interrupt them. What do we got here? What's Tyler saying?"
He was talking about, we had the changes to marine weaponry and whatnot. He's saying he heard through the grapevine that they're playtesting Bolter Discipline to only work in tactical doctrine and shock assault only working in the assault doctrine.
Woo! Get fucked.
That would be a big change to all of the marine chassis models for sure. Because I mean,
yeah, great again.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about some of this stuff, because like at first glance, it sounds like Marines are getting even more powerful things, but in reality, there's also this gist of perhaps they're being the first to get their codex are actually going to get nerfed a bit. So we're talking about nerfing their doctrines. I've heard of even going away, but yeah, I could see them like just kind of making it less good. That makes more sense. But like, what some of this stuff can we rattle off? That we're getting like 2 wounds apiece, apparently just marine wide. The GW's announced that, right?
Well, basically, there are still a few things that are not getting the 2 wound treatment. It seems like, and some of the stuff, that's Primaris even. I forget what Primaris kit. I think one of those is still going to be stuck at less wounds. Oddly enough, if I can recall. But I'm not the. I think it was one of the weird heavy weapon specialists. I could be completely off my rocker on that one.
Yeah, Primaris aren't getting any wounds bumps. It's all non-Primaris. So like Terminators are going to 3, Devastators are 2, Assault Marines 2, Tacticals obviously. All the non-Primaris characters are getting a bump and a wound also.
Hellblasters are getting a buff. I think they're becoming like flat 2 damage or something like that.
For the heavy gun profile.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
There's definitely some big sauce there.
Are we expecting our points to stay relatively the same?
No. Marines are going to jump. They're 15 now? They're going to jump to 18.
Yeah. They were saying that on average you can expect. I think the original GW article kind of hinted that a lot of these Marines are going to get between like a 15 to 20% points hike.
And did we already get about that whenever we went from 8th to 9th?
I'm not entirely sure how much they were affected. I know some of their stuff, like many factions, a lot of their stuff went like free in terms of weapons, but then just ate that cost going onto the chassis.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think like the average, if you add it all up, like Eldar and I think it's an Imperial faction. There's Eldar and another one got like a 35 to 40% increase across the board. Like if you add all of the increases, but then I think if you add them all together, it's around 20% for the average. So some of them barely got touched at all, but there's some where it's like way up there. So I think they were technically correct where on average 20% increase. Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler's saying that he thinks that they want Marines to be very lean on models.
Which is fluffy. I mean, they're supposed to be like 5 dudes showing up taking on like 100.
Right.
Yeah.
Right now it seems like it's like that's what they are, but with a whole bunch of dudes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They already sold all their Space Marines, so now they're gonna fucking destroy them.
Chris, your audio might have gone mute a little bit there.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, there
streaming
you
off my phone and someone tried to call me.
Oh, cool. Gotcha. You kicked back. Yeah. So they're gonna go up in
Assholes.
points. So this is gonna, dude. I wonder, do Wolfen get 3 wounds? Come on,
Probably.
that'd be amazing. Come on, don't tease me. Don't tease me.
But Thunderwolves will go to 4 then?
What?
That would be pretty nuts.
You know what makes me mad?
Also, everything is going to be in one book. So, like, all, like, what is it? Blood Angels, Space Wolves, Dark Angels, and Death Watch, and Marines, all in one book. So that Space Marine book is going to be, like, thick.
I haven't even I haven't let myself even think about 4 wound Thunderwolf Cav or 3 wound Wolfen. That gives me the jitters and excitement. You know what it makes me upset about though? As you know what's dumb is fucking Blood Crushers, man. That they're toughness 4. But they got a 4-up save. But like look at a Thunderwolf Cav. I mean, there's so many things that got T5. A Blood Crusher should be T5 all day, right, James?
No, because the bloodletter is only T3 and it only goes up by 1.
Man, that don't make no sense. He's a Blood Crusher.
Should be a 3-up save. Because I mean, like it's a brass bowl you're running on.
Come on,
Bro.
Yeah.
I think
So Tyler
you
mentions
have to kill the steed and the rider.
So we're going in some fantasy shit right here.
I'm okay with that.
Kill the steed and the rider.
I'm okay
the
with
rider's
that.
toughness 3, the steed's toughness 6. Get it?
George.
It's like old
Yeah.
Warhammer fantasy targeting. Shit, that was rough.
What do you got,
Just to
Chris?
play with your emotions for
Yeah.
a second. You know,
Yeah.
Tyler mentions, oh well, like the new Marine book is coming out. Will there even be Space Wolf specific units in there?
You can't say
I
that. You can't even say that, dude.
I imagine it's gonna be kind of
You
like the
gotta
Index
let-
era.
Wolf and Legends.
Oh,
I think you just quit the game at that point.
I mean, I'm like real close, y'all. We don't need all that. We don't need all that. Tyler, come on, man.
Big
that would be like
salty
suicide right
doggo
there if we got rid
tears.
of all that.
oh yeah.
Like Death Company, Sigmar Guard, Wolfen, Thunderwolves.
Primaris or nothing, baby.
Yep. Or even like Deathwing, Ravenwing, Sammy. Goddamn. Maybe shoot themselves in the foot.
Salamander. It's all that matters.
I want to see it. Shoot yourself with a foot, GW.
Well,
Let's see how strong you are.
Isn't it accurate that like what is it? What's the White Scars leader?
Call.
Yeah, it's Call, right?
Well, their character Corsaro Khan, I guess.
Didn't they put his ass on the ground? He's not even riding a bike anymore.
Not Call.
Yeah, his old model was him with a sword like this, not even on his bike. And then the Primaris one's not on the bike. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, why isn't he on a bike? That kills me.
Who knows? They're saying that he's probably just getting reboxed, but people are saying that since there's a Primaris chaplain on bike, they're going to say he's going to get one, and his old data sheets is going to go away, which I don't care. I'd rather have him on a bike anyway.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, please, for the love of God. Well, that's fine, I guess, but geez, what a roundabout way to get there. It's like the moment they put him out not on a bike, I was like, you assholes.
Like he never had a model on a bike, which even though in his fluff he always is riding one. Like what the fuck?
Put him on the bike. Put him on a bike. Put him on a bike. Put him on a bike.
Yeah. Yeah, it was dumb. I like bikes, and
Demon Princes should be on bikes.
Oh,
Dude, Tomb Raider, bring him back.
Dude, I would love a Demon Prince on a bike. 'Cause that's hilarious.
Old 3rd edition Doom Rider. Awesome.
Dude, I haven't got into Crisis Protocol, but I hear that they're getting Ghost Rider now with like three different bikes, like Flaming Skull style. Have you heard about that game, James?
Dude, no, but it's intriguing to me. Like,
I bet you would love it for you and your kid, man. It's like
I honestly think I would.
You play it on a smaller board. The minis are dope for Marvel comic characters and all. I'm pretty sure it's mostly Marvel Universe. I'm not sure. Maybe
They
DC
are
as well.
very soon getting all of the like X-Men big ones. That's I think not currently out.
On that game.
It's pretty affordable, dude. It's pretty affordable. But check this. Is that it is 3D printing heaven when it comes to terrain because it's a lot more just smaller pieces. And in that game, you can throw terrain at people. And like you can be like
Hulk.
You can be like Magneto and shit. Yeah, you can like Hulk a car at somebody. It's pretty cool. So I don't know, but the fact that Ghost Rider's in there and Venom just got added to the game, I'm like, oh, these are some of my favorite characters. It's like it just expanded to another level. So it's
Dude, speaking of Venom, you guys see that Venom 2 trailer?
Oof.
I did not. No.
Oh, you should take a look at it.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Oh,
Chris is like, I'm out of here, dude. I'm gonna go watch that shit.
Peace.
Dude, that's a great idea. I'm out.
I like your soul grind. All right, later, guys. Nice.
Dude, these are not soul grinders. They're defilers.
Oh, sure they are.
Oh, it's up.
I have three soul grinders as well that I could call defilers. Turns out that is a viable thing.
This is very viable in 9th edition right now. Not only is it viable, but you throw in Helldrakes and it's very viable.
Yeah, dude. Throw in a little Crimson Crown and some Iron Warrior Demon Smith Warlord trait with a little Infernal Power. Reroll those hits and wounds of 1. Get a little Cursed Earth going. Come on.
Hey.
Well, Master Possession, you know what I'm saying?
Hey. Psychers are for bitches.
Yo! Okay. Hey, you know what? You know, there's a relic.
An Iron Warrior coin list.
In Crusade, James, there's a relic that totally ignores psychic powers. Like, you can't be affected by them, can't be targeted by them, just no psychic. Dude, have you seen in Crusade, I'm playing 3 Bloodthirsters and a Demon Prince of Khorne with a Skull Reaver axe.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, it's dope.
Like it.
It's dope. It's 2 patrols that... So my 25 power level list is 1 Nurgling, 1 Bloodthirster, 1 Demon Prince of Khorne with wings and a Skull Reaver axe. And they've all 3 been exalted to only take a max of 8 wounds. And they have the main...
You do that? You can double up on that shit?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
You have to roll. So, like, we're playing match play, right?
You got lucky then?
Well, so you have... So, in... How I worked it out is this way. Is that in whenever you can swap a unit at any time in your list building, right? And so if once I spent the requisition point to spin the stratagem to upgrade it with the Exalted trait, when I did not roll the 2, then I ditched it and I lost the requisition point. So I basically had to use the expense. So I was willing to spend requisition points until I got a Bloodthirster that rolled a 2. And
so you just gamed the system, is what you're telling me.
I gamed the system, yeah. And so I was able. So luckily, I got lucky. I chose 1 to be exalted. I rolled and scored a 2 and a 4, and the 4 is to have exploding 6s, which they already have exploding 6s with Deathbringer.
So and double exploding 6s?
Yeah, that's right. And then on the 3rd one, now that actually, I don't think I can. You can't do double exploding 6s though per the latest FAQ.
Now in space still do it.
They shouldn't. Actually, that might be something I haven't considered. Because didn't we get an FAQ just recently that said that you can't have things explode off of multiple rules? Like a hit can't generate another hit itself, I think. No, that's all I'm talking about.
The only rule I know is when you're Eiffel Tower and you don't let your balls touch.
Yeah, you can still do double explode. I think all the FAQ just clarified that any rule that lets you get an exploding hit can't itself explode into another hit.
Yeah, I think it says it in the... That makes sense. I think even the court... I think it was like 1 or 2 of the books didn't specifically mention that. Like, because Death of the False Emperor, it says you can't explode off and explode.
Yeah.
So
they just yeah. So they just they clarified it, yeah.
It's like, don't fucking try it. There's that.
Right,
so,
but yeah.
Because if you do like Ragnar, and if you're an Assault Doctrine, because you can do if you're fighting a Thousand Sun, you get the Exploding 4s.
Yeah.
Their Legion trait or whatever trait, and then there's another one. I think it's maybe his Warlord trait. I don't know, because you can get 3 ways of exploding 6s.
Yeah, people.
The exploding 4s.
The exploding attacks that way you're describing. People on average, I guess he maps out to kill Magnus Ragnar.
Oh yeah, you can even not even fighting twice. You can bitch slap Magnus in 1 turn of fighting.
Yeah, cause it's nuts. So he spin a CP, he explodes on 4s. He already explodes on 6s. You spin a CP for the Thousand Suns one, so that's another explode. And then when he dies, he can spin 2 CP and fight again.
Yeah. So and then you spend another CP to reroll wounds against power level bigger than you.
Yeah.
Since Ragnar's only power level 6.
Yeah, and he already rerolls. You say reroll wounds? Yeah, reroll wounds because he already reroll hits. Yeah, it's stupid good. Stupid good. People are saying there's been some nasty people. I guess people are doing some work with Spacers right now with the Thunderhammer Smash Captain as well for the same reason. because with him, because he's a Smash Captain, you can give him any Warlord trait you want, and you basically give him the Advance and Charge Warlord trait. So now he's a jump packing 12-inch Advance and Charging unit that can go in with +1 to hit with a Thunder Hammer, so he's still 2s to hit with a Thunder Hammer, and fucking, exploding on 4s to hit, fighting when you die, re-rolling wounds, whatever. He's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
So people have been doing some work. I haven't been running that. And like, honestly, just out of curiosity, I almost want to run like 3 patrols and just take 6 thunder. Or I can't. Or you take 3 Wolfguard battle leaders with hammers, 3 Wolf Lords with battle hammers.
Just be careful on that coming up, because the new Space Marine book says you're only allowed to have 1 captain and 1 lieutenant per detachment, I believe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I saw a leak coming out saying you only can have at least one captain.
Thank God. Thank God. I do not want to see the meta become just like when there were the commanders, the Cold Stars were going nuts or whatever. We can't have characters like lead the game in that way. Like, everybody needs a Smash Captain.
I mean,
I like it. It's like X-Men Assemble.
with Chaos, it makes sense because it can be like, okay, all these Chaos Lords are fighting for power and stuff. That's believable. But like when you're on a Imperial faction, be like, okay, I'm the leader, get the fuck out. Or at least because the list you were describing, Triple Patrol, technically you can do 3 Wolf Lords, 3 battle leaders, because it's all different attachments.
Yeah. Yo, just a quick shout out to Antonio. Jumped in and said he's heading to work. Gonna watch the rest later. Want to say, hey, Robles just said also Scouts going to elite spot, like you said, Kevin. Nice. Robles, good to see you out there. Just to mention one thing, I saw. I heard we said Triple Patrol. It made me think of the my buddy Dan. He played Orcs and made it all the way into the finals in our pods. And his last match was yesterday against Drukhari. And of course, Drukhari, they got that in 9th. It makes so much more sense. The strat they've had forever, where you take, or whatever their ability, where you take 3 patrols and you get it all refunded, basically. Yeah. So he was playing against Drukhari list with a Triple Patrol. It was a nasty Drukhari list. But the Orcs, man, my buddy Dan's been doing well with. He was getting his butt kicked. It's funny, on the channel, Dan was getting wrecked. Every 9th edition game when we first started playing 9th, his Orcs were just not working. But after some study and some practice, he started moving into the objective-based Orc strategy, and really like trying to create the Tided Trader, that endless green tide where you can pick the unit back up and bring it at full strength. And he's using Truck Boys as his strategy. I see Tyler's out there too. I know you play Orcs and Space Wolves, buddy, but he's been doing truck.
Tactic right there.
It's pretty cool because he'll take three trucks with 3 units of boys in them, and that truck being that buffer with that ramshackle. I guess the ramshackle, if you roll a 6, you like ignore the damage. Basically, it's kind of a neat rule.
It goes to 1, I think.
Yeah. But he'll use just using terrain, because we've been doing player place terrain, and using the ramshackle rule and just like loading it, getting his trucks onto the objectives. That extra buffer before they can get to the boys has been allowing him to just get those objectives, and he's been winning games based on the primary. Enough to beat 3 people out. Hell, I played in 13 pods or 14 pods. I can't make it to the finals. I do have my best list for Space Wolves right now is triple Wolfen and double Relic Leviathans as the backbone. A couple quad launching rapier carriers and a small unit of Thunderwolf Cav, and then 2 priests. I got to switch out. I've been rocking 2 Ruin Priests or Wolf Priests. And there's one in the back that I use to give +1 to wound to these Relic Leviathans. But apparently, a profile I've been ignoring is Ulrich, the character Wolf Priest, who could do 2 litanies, and he's only like it's 100 points versus like 80. It's super worth it. So I got to get 90 whatever, but I got to get his ass in there because he can do 2 litanies instead of just 1. So that'll allow me to.
Did they fix his litany thing yet? Because he's from what I remember, he still only has the old one where you could reroll failed hits within 6 inches.
Apparently so. Maybe it's via. That's what I've been told, that I need to get Ulrich up in there, and I think I've been not paying attention to him because I've just been reading his in the books ability and not maybe the FAQ. I gotta dig in.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if they had an FAQ for him because in the Saga of the Beast, I didn't see an updated profile for him yet.
Yeah, maybe it was just the Space Wolves one. Yeah, I got to look into that one some more. If it's cool, if it's true, then I'll definitely take 2 litanies, please.
Oh yeah.
They're so powerful. Man, can you imagine? Because we have Dark Apostles, and we had the litanies for or the prayers that the Dark Apostles have are nice. I mean, the litanies and prayers from the Dark Apostles were a big addition to back in 8th. I don't see those going away. Maybe just like psychic powers and disciplines, do you think we're going to get more litanies?
I hope. I think we're okay on the Chaos Marine side and the Thousand Suns. Demons need more psychic powers.
Come on,
They need.
demons need a lot.
Yeah, at least psychic powers or something.
No, Corn wants blood type points.
I think like what James is saying, we need demonkin. Like, I mean, this is what I want. I don't know if we need this, but I need it. I'm annoyed that unlike Sigmar, in 40K they put demons all in one book. I would love it if they just did away with old demons and they went Sigmar style, where you had, because just like there's demons and mortals in Sigmar, there could be Chaos Space Marines and demons. Like, just intermix the two for Khorne, Slaanesh, Tzeentch, Nurgle. Give us like that, those different sub factions that work within those pantheons, and make demonkin books with them. And that would make me so thrilled that even if I lost a lot of games, I would still be like loving the concept of it, I'm sure.
Yeah. I still think like if you have like, you can still not summon Nurgle. Like, let's say if you're Chaos Space Marines, you can like take like your Bloodletters, Plague Bearers, all that stuff in there, but you lose your Legion faction. I think you should be able to take them but not lose it.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I could dig that. Yeah, sure. Yeah, right now it's so much. You gotta bring like the Nurgling to fill out the patrol for the cheapest thing. Like, it's tough to play pure demons right now, especially. Which
there's very low incentive to anyway. Like, because of the mixed forces, like, and the state of the meta, like, it's always been like, oh well, like, you're gonna fill out this minimum thing to try to get this, craziness. Whether that's some kind of bloodthirster with a custom, or a demon prince with like a custom like Khorne relic axe or whatever. Like, it's very about utility much more than like, hey, let's actually build these factions intelligently and like standalone. Because if they were forced to approach it like, hey, like, we have to build the Slaanesh book, they couldn't just be like, well,
man, I tried my hardest when I played pure Nurgle demons. I tried hardest.
Yeah,
I'm always trying my hardest as a Khorne.
It's hard, man. Yeah. Well, see, that's one of the interesting things in Sigmar. The one of the things that they build into the juicy bits, the fluff, or the mechanics of each army is the summoning, right? Like, the Slaanesh has a unique way to summon. Tzeentch summons with Destiny dice, or like by casting spells. Khorne does it by killing things. Nurgle does it based on the contagion points that they stack up. They all do it in a unique way, and because summoning's free, they can put a lot of depth into that. But without that being free in 40K, they don't have as much substance to write rules around. I mean, just the way the strats are right now. Like, if you look at the Psychic Awakening, the Engine War strats are pretty much the same way as they are in the Demon Codex, but as far as being organized by Pantheon and only being to a very specific type of stuff. I mean, we have a very small amount of, when you're talking about a faction within a faction, if you are a Khorne player, a Nurgle player, whatever, then you have very few stratagems for your particular sub-faction inside the book.
And like, if you play like Ultramarines or White Scars, you get a whole fucking book about it.
A whole book, man. Yeah, so it's sad. It's sad.
They should do that like the Space Marine chapter books. It'd be like, okay, here's Codex Demons, here's Khorne, Nurgle, Slaanesh, Tzeentch. That'd be awesome.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
Bruh, buy all of it.
I know.
Buy 2 copies. I don't care.
Yeah, like, give me a whole Psychic Awakening without anybody else but just Khorne, Nurgle, Tzeentch. Yeah, that'd be so cool. Oh, I'd lose it.
Kitties.
Dude, like the gods awaken.
Yeah, it's all about Necrons right now, man. We're not getting any. What is the demons? Come on, man.
Look at me. I'm the antagonist now.
Yeah. I could really enjoy that. Something I was looking at Chris. I'll bring Chris into the conversation, dude. Like, so like I'm pretty intimidated by the bug list that the aggro one that Kevin had mentioned that we saw. Mike's getting ready to try to drop me triple Exocrine, triple Hive Guard with the shorter board range. Like I'm scared of that, man.
I will say, man, I've seen almost all of the like more aggressive competitive Tyranid list turn into almost the same list, which is kind of disconcerting. But I mean, like the bug players right now are leaning real hard into go for broke into the gun lines, which they were already kind of doing. But like it's gone from like, hey, let's take a lot of shooting to like triple Exocrine, 18 Hive Guard, almost every list I see, and I'm just like, it's really good.
It's
like,
really good.
Like, yeah, it's really good, but it was really good in 8th too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it's so weird the transition we went from 8th to 9th, and I just feel like in general with even the long distance spread before we get the new Marines that we're being teased along about, and the Necrons that have these cool new models, but they don't have any really. Even though I'm hearing they got some guns, and we're seeing the leaks of the data sheets and things, and they're starting to get some exciting tidbits of what's to come, but. We're in a stagnant kind of place where it's like, all right, like what's next here? We've all played the triple Exocrine list, whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, we mentioned Flying Monkey Con GT, but like that was one of the Tyranid players that was there, Matt. I forget his last name. He did really good with bugs. All the Xenos players that were in attendance did particularly well, honestly. The only factions that didn't show up were Orcs, Necrons, and Pure Craft World. But like I mentioned that because the Tyranid list showed up, it became more of a question of like, what is this player doing differently, rather than like, oh yeah, what are they running that's powerful? 3 Exocrines, all the Hive Guard, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And they brought a lot of warriors, which people suspected warriors are going to get better, but at the same time, like I don't understand what he was doing because there's like no good close combat weapons on them. He took a 3-man unit with double sighting talons, which is the free weapon. That lets you reroll once to hit, but it's strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage. He took death spitters on the bigger squad, so I guess that's a marine killer. Strength 5, AP neg 1 damage. But it's interesting. I mean, everything that I've seen from the commentary about like that particular Tyranid list, for example, is that he is just someone who has been playing Tyranids for a long time and actually is one of the better ranked Tyranid players in the ITC. So like
about ITC ever since COVID happened.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of it too. Is it like I say that like, oh, he's one of the better players in the ITC, but it's been such a wash that like it's hard to even follow. Like it's almost like the next wave of ITC circuit is going to be like, all right, who's still good at this game?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to like discredit you. I was just like, man, I just don't.
Yeah,
I just see right now since March.
Yeah,
I was trying to be good at Grey Knights because when they pop out, I'm like, all right, I got a cool army happen. Then army all together, fully painted base, got a cool display board, and then Adepticon got canceled on base. I almost like just flipped the little display board. I'm like, bullshit.
Well, apparently they're really on their head now, right? Because what 1,000 Sons of Grey Knights now have to smite like everybody else, correct?
Yeah, that's still broken.
Yeah. Well, apparently didn't they come out and just make that like it was like people were question marking it, and then didn't they even FAQ it to be like, no, you're not doing it.
Yeah, you still have to add everything now.
Yeah, it's such a weird game right now. Then you're like, but I play 1,000 Sons.
I know, even though their core rule says you don't.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Say you do? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, because like one thing that right out the gates, whenever we were reading the leaked rules in 9th was like in reinforcement points, they say units that you add to your army, you don't have to pay reinforcement points. So I immediately went to the Pink Horror page, and I was like, whoa, well. It says there in a little headliner, in match play, you don't have to do it. But I was like, well, does 9th edition trump this rule? Do I get to have free horrors now? For that.
The when they just die, so you get like blue horrors and brimstone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that's when you add them to the
flashbacks. That's 7th edition.
Yep. I used to play the unkillable horrors for sure.
Yeah, I did the Magnus Flying Circus summoning list.
Yeah, you could do it in Sigmar, and we have bat reps on the channel. I only did it a couple times, and then I was like, I'm done with this, man. But the way that because Sigmar summoning's free, and never before, but how crazy, like they have this cult of duplicitous, and like you basically can like you get a million guys back basically, and every pink horde that comes back is worth 5 models because 2 blues, 2 brims, and I was able in a bat rep. It took like 4 hours, but I was able to summon on with splits nearly over 2,000 points of horrors. And it was like a 4,000 point game, and 2,000 of it was me just taking bodies and splitting. I had like no killing potential, but I was going against like the ultimate Slanesh killing potential. So he was just doing wounds like insane, like double attack, double doing double turns, and I'm just like split. And it was like I was
really putting out fires.
I was sweating my ass off, dude, just trying to pour all these fucking horrors onto the board in the right way, because you have to do it like super meticulous and in this right order of operations.
You're one of the few people that have all the horrors.
And I actually have them, exactly. And God, dude, it was crazy because the line held and like the idea was there. But again, in a tournament format, like you would just want to kill yourself. It's terrible. It's terrible. I was like, dude, and playing on stream, essentially, especially being the camera operator, is essentially like playing in a tournament, like 3 game. One stream game can sometimes feel like multiple tournament games in a row. You just have to think, And so I'm not trying to do that while running a horde. It's a pain in the ass. So I often run a elite. Yeah, it's hard.
3 Lords of Skulls.
That's why often I run elite armies on the channel because of that. But yeah, man, we're talking about some good stuff today. This is much better than that one episode that was last week that we won't remember anymore because it got deleted. So good job, guys. We had stuff to talk about this week. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Damn right.
Yay.
Yeah. You never know sometimes. I don't know, for our friends that are home, they're hanging out with us. We really wing it, guys. I mean,
Yeah. Some people,
faction demons, like make your own book.
Oh, dude.
Do it.
I'll do sexual acts on camera for that.
You heard it here first. It's behind our Patreon wall, in case you're interested.
Are we gonna cover the book when it comes out?
The book.
Dude, I love your tower of soul grinder defilers, dude.
It's all up in the face.
Nowhere the rules say I can't do
Yeah,
that.
I was about to say, no rule says you can't do that, right? I mean, that's totally a legal move.
My favorite argument ever. It doesn't say I can't.
That looks obscuring to me.
Fuck yeah, dude. You're not fucking seeing through here, dude. I create my own fucking line of sight terrain that not only shoots back, but hits back.
This is for you, Kevin. We got Raw asking, so what do you think about I'm not sure what White Scar list he's mentioning, but he's just saying a White Scars list. I know you play White Scars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess what do you think's a saucy White Scar list right now that's giving people problems?
So wait, a good White Scar list that's beating people or giving White Scars?
Oh, looks like Raw was still writing to us. He's asking us a question about his list, and he's saying, what do you think about this list? 3 Outriders, 2 Eradicators, Grav Devastators, and then he's like, what else should I bring? I got 3 Outriders, 2 times 2 Eradicators, I got Grav Devastators. What else should I bring?
From the Grav Dev definitely have a drop pod if you have it, because that's just good. Outflank the 2 Eradicators. I'd say drop. I mean, if you like the bikes, go ahead. But then if you want to have Bat, I'd say nothing but assault intercessors with impulsors with shield guns. And I know that they went up in points, but it's still too damn good. No captain on bike.
He's got 3 incursors and he's got a captain on a bike, it sounds like. So that's funny that you say the impulsor or repulsors, right? Or whatever.
Impulse. Yeah, the rhino looking ones.
The impulsors are the assault vehicle that we were talking about last week that annoys me, that only the Primaris get an assault vehicle where they can move and get out. I know they can't charge afterwards, but I'm still annoyed that like orcs can't do that with their trucks and whatnot.
Yeah. It's pretty tough.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems like with Space Wolves, everybody says because of the points efficiency and the value that you get out of Repulsor, the gunship, that it's like a lot of like take Blood Angels, insert this, take Space Wolves, insert this. That's what I think of when I think of the repulsor. But you're suggesting for the White Scars action, the impulsors and what would he put in those and why those whites? I don't really know White Scars benefit that they get as an army.
So what I do, the reason why I do that, at the time there was no assault intercessors, but my list originally was back in, so my first 9th edition one or 8th edition one, it was Corsaro Khan, a librarian with the +2 to charge, no Overwatch buff, and or that might have been the same, 2 different powers. I don't know. Basically with that, and then you have a chaplain for the +2 to charge, so you can have two things going off. Then you have Corsaro Khan for the +1 to wounds. And then I had 6 units of 5 intercessors with auto bolt rifles, so they're assault 3, and sergeant with Thunderhammer. And then you have your impulsor with the shield dome and Stormbolter for the cheapest one for that and most survivable. And then the 9th edition, I had 2 units of 3 Outriders, but in 8th edition, I had a Relic Leviathan Dreadnought with dual storm cannons and a Thunderfire cannon. But since the points are just through the roof, I switched to that. And I thought it was fluffy too.
Sure. Yeah, Mike made a great point that impulsors have a 4+ invuln, right? And then
yeah, 4 up.
Yeah, so that's good, and you don't find that on every transport. And then also Rawl was saying maybe based on maybe what he has, but he has, he mentioned the 3 Outriders, 2 Eradicators, the Grav Devastators, the Incursors, the Captain on a Bike, and then he was saying I was thinking about taking some Interceptors. What do you think about
I think just for the points alone, I'd say if you want to have the Incursors, like they're still a troop choice. I'd say just do, like, if you want to do White Scars, keep it fluffy. I'd say do the Impulsors. Captain on a Bike is still good. Give them the Master of the Snares. It's still a really good one, so people can't run away. And then, get a drop pod for the Grav Devs. Or if you want to, you can just outflank the Grav Devs if you feel like it.
Yeah.
And then outflank the Eradicators as well, just so you can just get up there and do stuff. And then what's cool about that, the new White Scar buff, it's basically still the advance and charge, fallback and charge. But a new add-on to that rule is you can advance and shoot without suffering assault penalty. So your Eradicators, you can move up your D6 +5, I think. Are they 5 or 6 inches? I can't remember.
I can't say, but damn, those are some nice rules, man. I would love to be able to fall back and charge and fucking advance and charge.
Like right now in 9th edition, White Scars are probably the best all-rounders.
Yeah.
Just for rules alone, how 9th edition changed from 8th.
Yeah.
So, and what's cool, and again, Space Marines, their vehicles get that, so you could fall back and charge, which is bullshit. So, like your Dreadnoughts, the reason why I took a Leviathan Dreadnought in 8th edition with storm cannons is because there's a stratagem where you can fall back and shoot, and then you can still have your fallback and charge for 1 CP.
Hey, I've been running in my Space Wolf with double Relic Leviathan. I gotta say, man, I love being able to shoot in combat.
That's terrifying.
How many points is an Imperial Relic Leviathan?
It's like 325. It's not that bad.
With dual storm cannons?
Yeah, dude. They made it stupid cheap. The chaos one they took to the bank, dude. They're like 400 something. I'll pull it up. It's a cool. 320 is a little overzealous here, but
yeah, because I really wanted to, because I ordered a bunch of Contemptor Dreadnoughts with dual autocannons, but I'm running them as Butcher cannons. And then I have the Cyclone missile launcher on top as a Havoc launcher. And then I have 3 Daredeos with the big Havoc missile and the dual Butcher, or whatever, the machine gun ones. Yeah, so they finally got in the mail because of Cough China Cast or Russia Cast. And then, and I already get this, and the 9th edition happened, and the points increases. I'm like, God damn it!
It's 350, but it's still not near as much as the Chaos one.
No,
they really smacked the Chaos version. It was like 325
in 8th edition for the Leviathan Dreadnought with dual storm cannons.
Yeah, no, it was not a bad hit, and he wrecks. Here's why he wrecks comparatively, and why I love running him. He's not -1 to hit when he moves, and he can shoot into combat, and it rocks.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he's shooting into combat with double heavy flamethrowers and then shooting his 20 shots.
Yeah. So at that point, I don't give a shit if you touch me. I'm like, please touch me. I don't care.
And maybe you can say, I'm going to double heavy flamer what's in front of me because you know that's going to kill it, and I'm going to shoot my double Leviathan, my storm cannon arrays outside of combat.
I got a question. How does that work? I never understood that part. I always thought you had to shoot what's in front of you. So you can declare okay, hope and pray that it kills what's in front of me and then shoot the rest at something else?
Yeah, you can declare outside of the combat, but if you don't kill what's in front of you, you won't get to shoot outside of combat.
So I got a question. So let's just say you do what you did. So you have your heavy flamers target, I don't know, 5 cultists, but you only kill 4 of them. And you choose the storm cannons at a dread at a, I don't know.
Shots are dead, yeah.
So they're okay, I was gonna say, are they dead, or can you shoot your storm whatever, your guns into them? So
yeah, I think it's an all at once declaration where you have your you got 2 heavy flamers, you got 2 storm cannon arrays, you got 4 declarations to make.
Yeah, you don't get to reroute your target. You basically have to commit to whatever target you shot at, and if you're not unlocked from the combat, it's GG.
Yeah, but that was the feel bads in 8th is like, even they touched it. I mean, I remember maybe it was Chris, maybe it was Heretic Hornet that charged me with a freaking lictor. Maybe it was
I did that to you once.
Yeah, you or Mike, and I feel like it's happened more than once. But it's a terrible feeling because they ignore Overwatch, right? They can
1 CP they could ignore Overwatch, yeah.
Yeah, so you deep strike a lictor in someone's backfield, ignore their Overwatch into the Relic Leviathan, and boom, you just turned it off. Ha 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 ha. And it's the worst thing ever. But now you can just unload on that thing in combat.
Yeah, no, that lictor would die horribly now.
Yeah, it feels good. I like it. So yeah, I've been having good luck with that. It's definitely a nice defense against flyers, but man, not also being on a mover because they move 8 inches and being on a move around like that without being -1 to hit is great. They finally did FAQ. The Space Wolves, the Saga of the Beast. We had the Duty Eternal on our dreadnoughts for a minute there. That was reduce all damage by half, but they finally fixed it and took it down to 1.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So, but yeah, things are cool. One more thing that was cool about the Space Wolves FAQ was the fact that they gave us. They made a clarification about stratagems that give you CP back. If they don't happen at the beginning or end of a phase and happen just like in the middle of something, you can gain more CP back than just 1 a turn. They don't suffer that same restriction. So so the Space Wolf strat that's 0 CP when you kill a character with a Space Wolves unit in melee. It's just when you kill them in melee. It doesn't say at the end of the phase you get something. It's just when you do, you get. So if you kill multiple characters in a fight phase, you can get multiple CP as a Space Wolf player.
So
yeah.
Wait, but you get the strat, so you only do 1 strat a phase.
That's fair. You got me there, James. I didn't think about that.
But I mean, you could do it in this like shooting phase and
phase, right? Yeah.
So in the assault phase. So wait, no. When does it activate?
It happens after like the death has happened, like the wounds have allocated or whatever.
Okay, so I think you could still only get 1. So it's okay. Here's the strat. I killed something. It's free. I get my CP and then it's done.
Right.
So I think so.
But it used to be though. It used to be that like, all right, now that happened in my turn. Now it's your turn, and now I still have to wait till my turn again before.
Okay, so you can just get it immediately, and then you can use that strat to do something else.
Yeah, like basically, I could kill because it's only in the fight phase, so it just basically allows you to do it in both your turn and the opponent's turn, where it used to only be once per battle round. Could you get it back?
Oh, and also I think you can do something like that too. Like the assassins, they have a stratagem. I think it's similar or almost identical to that. But I think it's just when you kill a character, so you can do the 0 CP strat to get 1 back, and if you kill the warlord, you get 2 back.
Yeah. So now instead of just once per battle round.
Yeah, snipe his ass. Actually, I think you can get 0. You can get 2 back because you can immediately shoot again and using that stratagem on the Vindicare. Oh wait, no. Or is it when you kill something? So yeah, so like when you could do the double shooting one.
Yeah.
So you have to shoot a different target. I don't know. I might have to look into that.
It was interesting to see. Yeah, it's worth looking at because there's not very many interactions like that. And I was like, "Are you just talking to me, the Space Wolf player? Thanks." I couldn't tell.
Oh, good special.
Yeah, but we're breaking into the past the hour mark here. It's been a great time. I'm gonna check to make sure I didn't miss anybody out there. Tyler, it was nice hanging out. Mike, good to see you. It was good to see Robles out there. We had some cool comments from Rawl. Thanks for tuning in, bud. Just all around, thank you everybody who caught us now and on the back end. If you are watching on the back end and you've never seen any of our bat reps,
Poxist, Antonio.
Yeah. Pox, the good one, Chris.
It's done.
We were pretending like people don't know we do bat reps, but we do. What were you saying, James?
Antonio.
There you go. But yeah, anyways, it's been awesome. Keep taking fun seriously, and we'll catch you next time.